Hola, from Barcelona. Um, so I told some of you, I think, this week that we had an apartment lined up, and we were supposed to go and do the signing today. In fact, just like 20 minutes ago, and we ended up not going to the signing. Um, there were a lot of things about this deal that were sketchy, and they just kept accumulating to the point where we no longer felt comfortable signing the lease. For one thing, the agent that we were dealing with, her company didn't have very many Idealista ads up. She didn't have very many properties that she was selling. She's foreign. She's from Bulgaria. Um, and also the owner was out of the country, which was a bit weird. She couldn't give us something called an ACAT number, which is a registry number for licensed rental agents who are licensed with like the Spanish Land Authority, which is like a sort of general credential for telling construction, for telling if a real estate agent is legit. Like, she sent us tax documents, but that's all that means is that she's basically registered a business with the Spanish equivalent of the IRS. Stuff like that. The lease was really predatory. It said that we had to be responsible for everything in the apartment: the plumbing, the appliances, the air conditioning unit, the boiler. If anything broke in that apartment, we were going to have to fix or replace it. And then finally today, we discovered that her website is selling scam products to people in Bulgaria. And we were like, no, there's too many funny smells about this. Which really sucks because we put down a fairly sizable deposit. But we're going to call that a very expensive lessons learned. So, what are we going to do, you ask? Well, we have decided to live in temporary housing, basically Airbnbs or the Spanish equivalent, until at least the end of September. Our understanding from talking to a real estate agent is that the rental market will get a bit better after peak tourist season passes, which is the end of September. And we might have better luck finding reputable properties then and not feel so much like we have to accept whatever comes along because we need something. And we've also decided that we're not going to look at temporary rentals anymore. The Spanish real estate market, like, the government is trying to pass legislation that protects tenants and caps rents and stuff like that. The problem with that is that a lot of that legislation applies to what's considered a permanent rental. Temporary rentals are a very fungible legal area in Spain. This is one of the things that we've discovered. And your legal protections just aren't as clear. And the people who are doing scams, who tend to run scams, are going to run them from temporary. Because it's way harder to run a scam on a property that's considered a permanent rental because there's just too much legislation that you'd have to deal with. So we're going to only look for what's considered under Spanish law a permanent rental so that we have stronger protections and more confidence that we are not getting into a scam. I mean, we're really bummed, really upset. We really need some stability right now. You know, Justin's trying to deal with learning a new job, and he doesn't need like the additional stress of like all this housing bullshit on top of that. So maybe kicking the can down the road like is a better move. You know, at the end of 3 months, we'll have 3 months worth of pay stubs. That's going to help us prove financial solvency. It might put us in a better position. Hopefully the rental market will ease up. I don't know, man. I knew this part of it would be hard. I don't think I was prepared for this. Yeah. I love you all. Goodbye.